So we're recording. And I'll go to speaker view. Is everybody fitting well, guys?
Yeah, thank you.
No, I've got a lot of problems with my shoulder again, Lisa. It's flared up over the weekend.
Oh, bless you.
So I'm really struggling.
Julie.
So I thought I'd just do the yin yoga and see how it goes, because I'm really struggling.
Definitely. We are doing, let me just make sure there's nothing to do with shoulders in the yin practice. No, you should be good. To be fair, there's no shoulder work in the yin class today.
Yeah, because I couldn't do a downward dog or anything.
All right, lovely. Okay. There we go. Julie, Molly, Richard, Karen, Claire, Jane, Dawn Fisher, Dawn, Lewin. Okay, I think that's everybody. All right, so the music is okay now?
Yep.
Perfect. All right, I'm going to mute everybody out then, and we will get started. Okay, namaste, welcome to Monday Yin Hour. Hope you all had a beautiful weekend. The sunshine has shone finally and given us some decent heat, some decent warmth. I had a lovely weekend away, so I'm very grateful for that. So a few weeks ago when we kind of acknowledged and honoured Earth Hour, I said to you that April was pretty much quite an earthy month, and there was going to be what we call Earth Day. And that is this week, it's on the 22nd. So Earth Day, it's been around, the very first one took place in 1970. And originally it was the 21st of March, but then the United States Senator, Gaylord Nelson, he was quite an environmentalist, and he changed the date to April 22nd. And it didn't go international actually until 1990, but it's pretty big now. You can go onto some of these apps and you can see, like, for example, Canva, when you do your marketing, there's already like little marketing things that are all made up for Earth Day. So it's quite big. It's 51 years old. And I just think it's a really nice way to bring awareness to us looking after the earth. Now, from our focus this week in terms of the yin practice and in terms of the flow, I really want to focus on the root chakra, that grounding sensation. So we're going to work with the Muladhara chakra in our yin practice. You know, we're going to try and balance out that energy. The energy in the root chakra can leave us feeling restless, or, you know, experiencing a lack of energy if it's not balanced out, which may be expressed as anxiety or worry or panic, depression. All of those negative things can arise out of just not having a balanced energy center at your root, which is right at the tailbone there. And the color associated, if you like to visualize color, is red. So let's just begin by noticing where we are this evening. Let's just sit up nice and tall. Let's close our eyes and just connect that breath, that inhale and that exhale. So there's no need to practice the Ujjayi breath if you don't want to. You can just practice a normal, natural inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. Of course, if you have hay fever or you've got a cold, then of course breathe through your mouth. And just remind yourself there's nowhere to be, nowhere to go, nothing to do. This practice is a very nurturing practice, and that's what we're here to do, is to nurture our physical body. And in doing that, thinking about how we can then nurture the planet that we live on, how we can make a difference, how we can improve things for this planet that we live on. So just start to even out your breath. Inhale 2, 3 or 4. Exhale 2, 3 or 4. Again, just evening it out. So thinking about energies flowing downwards, downward flow of energy. Apana is that wind that flows downwards. So breathing in, send the energy down to the tailbone. Breathing out, imagine your roots burrowing into the earth from that tailbone, that root chakra. So inhale, sending that energy all the way down to that tailbone, beautiful vortex of red energy. And then as you exhale, imagine roots burrowing down. Thinking about combating anxiety, worry, panic, depression, frustration. Your root chakra is intrinsically linked to your fight or flight. Breathing in, breathing out. And I guess as we slowly come out of lockdown, some of us may feel a little insecure, unsafe. I felt it over the weekend when I went to York, just walking around York Centre, which I absolutely adore. I couldn't wait to actually get out of the city. And that to me just demonstrated that as we come out of this lockdown, there's probably going to be lots of people that feel the same way. That little feeling of insecurity, unsafeness, being unstable. And that's all the more reason for us to focus on our root chakra and grounding. And when this energy is balanced, we feel confident, grounded, flexible, safe, resilient, and strong. All positive words. Breathing in, send the energy down to the roots. Breathing out, burrowing that energy into the earth. Your root chakra is your survival center. It is the chakra of stability, security, and our basic needs. So perhaps if you are feeling a little bit flighty, a little bit insecure, a little bit doubtful about coming out of this lockdown that we've been in, your intention for this practice could be, to feel, I feel grounded. You can kind of affirm that to yourself in your practice. Breathing in, breathing out. Okay, and then very slowly from here, just taking the hands behind you. And as you've sat in this Sukhasana, this easy pose, you may feel it in your hip flexors. So just bend your knees. Just gently rock your knees from side to side. Just windscreen wiper them from side to side, just to release those hips. Just noticing how you feel in your physical body today. Perhaps your joints are feeling a little bit tight. Maybe you feel full of energy and raring to go. Breathing in, breathing out, and then slowly transitioning into your child's pose. So use the equipment. If you have knees that are a little sore, you can place cushions underneath the knees. You can pop a bolster underneath your belly, and you can find your way into a nice wide-legged or wide-kneed child's pose, just resting the forehead on that bolster. Maybe if that feels even too far away, you can pop a brick on the top of the bolster and hold here. But if you can be supported by that bolster and place your head and forehead onto something, all the better. And then just drawing your tailbone down towards your heels. So just becoming aware of sending that energy down. So feeling the lower back stretch out. And just starting to even out your breath. Find your edge in this posture. So feeling into those inner thighs there, into the groin area, into the hips. Feeling into your lower back and finding your edge. That first principle is taking yourself to your edge. Most of our poses this evening are going to be held for 3 to 5 minutes. This one, 3 minutes. And every time your mind decides it wants to wander off and pull you away from this moment, fix it back, fix your attention, your awareness back to the breath. Just noticing where you're starting from. Breathing in, breathing out. Your root chakra is comprised of whatever grounds you to stability in your life. And this includes your basic needs such as food, water, shelter, safety, as well as your emotional needs of interconnection and being fearless. And when these needs are met, you feel grounded and safe. Remember that potentially that edge that you find may shift as you are breathing and surrendering into this posture. So if you find that you're not feeling the posture, feeling it in the hips and the lower back, then just shift to your second edge. chakras are very intelligent. They are like the software of the whole computer body. And the Muladhara chakra, the root chakra, is the foundation. In order to flourish above, one must be firmly rooted below. It's an ancient Maori proverb. In order to flourish above, one must be firmly rooted below. Just mull over that proverb, allow the words to resonate, to flow in the mind. What does that mean for you? In order to flourish above, one must be firmly rooted below. So remembering when you hear the chime of the Tibetan bowl to indicate that the posture hold is complete, to move out really mindfully and slowly. So rising up potentially onto your hands and knees. Maybe you feel like you want to straighten the legs one at a time behind you, just to loosen off there. Okay, and then shifting your equipment out of the way. Unless you feel like you want to leave the bolster there, because we're going to come into Virasana here, I suppose, with the toes tucked. So a little toe stretch here, getting those feet rooted, grounded. So you can see that I'm just sitting on the bolster here. If you can see, the sun shines quite bright on my legs. I have my toes tucked, but the bolster is supporting me, and you can do that with a brick as well. So you can turn it on that direction or that direction, and sit on that brick to give you some support and some height. Or if you feel like you can do this, we're going to be here for about 1.5 minutes. If you feel you can do it without the bolster or the brick, then go ahead. Knitting in your lower ribs so that you don't find the back bend, so you iron out that back, so the back is nice and flat. Placing your hands on your thighs and really being aware of the sensations and feeling in your toes. Drawing up that energy from earth into those feet, perhaps bringing it all the way to the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, sending that energy back down through the body, and perhaps starting to visualize it as a red energy, so red mist, red sort of cloud, whatever, red smoke. Breathing in, filling all the way up to the crown of the head from those toes. Breathing out, sending it out through the rest of your body. And if you feel like it's painful in your toes and you do need to make that adjustment, you can come slightly forward, maybe pop your hands on a brick and just lean forward. See, I've still got my toes tucked, but I've taken my body forwards just to release some of that pressure. All right, just trying to find that stillness, which is very difficult in this posture because it's quite a challenge on your toes, your shins, and your calf muscles. So for me, I tend to burn quite a lot in my shins. Not so much the toes, but the shins start to fire for me. For you, it might be very different, but just keep the breath even and deep. Breathing in, breathing out. And again, inhale, exhale. Just one more now, inhale. Ooh, exhale, breathe away, surrender. Come forward and tap out those toes. So give them a good old tap. All right, so coming back onto the feet, you're just going to slowly roll yourself up into a dangling pose, so standing feet grounded to the floor. So what I want you to think about doing is having a flat, straight spine, belly to thighs. So if you need to bend into the knees more, you see I'm bending, so the belly is on the thighs. Eventually, you will be able to keep the belly to the thighs. As your hamstrings stretch, you'll be able to straighten your legs, but it's really not vital. So I want you to try and find that lengthening of the spine and then just dripping down. So catching a hold of your alternate elbows, press down through those feet and surrender into this dangling pose, this ragdoll effect. So maybe you want to shimmy until you're able to find that stillness. You might want to just swish from side to side. Inhale back away, exhale, kind of surrender into the posture, and then look for that stillness, that principle of the practice, to find that stillness and then making that resolution to hold in this dangling pose. Make your breath nice and deep. Inhale, exhale. So remember, this time last year, we explored Earth Day. And by that time, we were all in lockdown. And Mother Earth was actually getting the break she needed. But how quickly do we return? Just contemplate that. How quickly does the human race return? Bend more deeper into the knees if you start to feel any pain in your back. Notice any clenching of the jaw and just soften the face. Relax your neck, your shoulders. If you do feel like you want to release the grip of the elbows, you can place your hands on a brick. Give you a little bit of support. Hold and breathe. Muladhara is the ground we stand on. We're standing here today. This dynamic root system defines our sense of self. The psychological foundation of the first chakra is built from our relationship with our primary caregivers. When it's in balance, we do feel grounded, comfortable, and safe in our own body and in the world. Right here, right now, know that you have enough and that you are enough. You have enough and you are enough. Coming to the end of our 3 minutes. Making sure that when we back away from the posture, we're doing it very slowly and mindfully. You're going to come into Shavasana, into a little rebound posture. So you can perhaps walk the feet a little bit further apart. You can use your hands or not to come down into your Malasana squat. Transition through the Malasana squat, come down onto your bum and take yourself flat onto your back just to reset the body. Just notice that wonderful surrendering feeling as you just let go. Let go of the weight of the body into the support of the earth beneath you. Breathing in, breathing out. Noticing where you're feeling it most in your body, your physical body. Tuning into the feelings and sensations in the lungs as you are aware more than ever before of your breath. Within our inner body lies another universe of energy. That's our life force. You often hear me talk about life force, prana, energy. But this internal universe of energy is known as the chakras, the spinning wheels, the untouchable orbs of life that are said to play a role in our physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Very slowly from here, we're going to move to our next yin posture, which is Malasana, Hindu squat. So just to remind you, you can use the equipment around to get you there. So I'd like you to roll onto your side and then very slowly press the hands into the floor, push yourself up, try and keep the gaze down, or even move with your eyes closed if you feel comfortable. Coming onto those feet, grabbing your bolster, your bricks, creating a little chair to sit on if you need to, because you're still going to get deep into the hips by sitting your bum down on the bolster, the cushions, or the brick, okay? And just bringing those elbows to the inside of your knees. Press the palms together, bring the thumbs to your heart center, ground down through the feet. Probably it's nice to actually have a brick or a bolster or a cushion to sit on, because you're able to bring more awareness to that tailbone. Your tailbone is actually creating contact with a surface, so it's a little bit easier to actually visualize, that energy that we can draw up from the earth to our root chakra. Just thinking about the soles of your feet and that root chakra, that wheel of red energy at that tailbone, and just finding a nice even breath. At the same time as you're rooting and grounding down, feel lifted from the crown of your head. And tuning into the feelings of the belly expanding as you breathe in, and then retracting as you breathe out. Searching for that stillness, making that little promise to yourself to remain still once you have taken yourself to your edge. Remember, the higher your seat, the less intense this posture will be. And the more intense it will be, the lower you go, or if you take that seat away. The root system of this wonderful energy center sits at the wellspring of the center channel, the Sushumna. Just imagine the root chakra as like a deep well right at the bottom of that center line of energy, the Sushumna that goes all the way up your spine through all of the other chakras there. It's like an underground bulb full of potency. And Muladhara acts to move and pump electrical energy. At the end of the day, we are made of electrical energy, fluid and nutrients upwards along the entire length of your spine and into your brain and organs. Visualization is a powerful tool in this practice. Just imagine drawing Earth's energy, connecting to Earth and drawing her energy. Balance out your root chakra energy center. Notice if your breath is becoming shorter. Perhaps the posture's feeling a bit more intense the longer we hold. Draw the breath in deeper. So very slowly, again, and mindfully, if you are sat on something in your malasana, lean forward and take it away. Let's come back into another rebound. So nice to have one after the other. Sit back, use your hands to help you lower yourself down. And just stretch those legs all the way out. Feel that energy really flood back into those hips because you were there for a while. Take a nice deep breath in and maybe you can sigh away all of that tightness. Release it with an out breath through the mouth. You can do that a few times, just then settling into your rebound posture. Shavasana, nice short little posture to reset the body and reset the mind. So from here, we're going to move into reclined butterfly, but I'd like to get your feet elevated. So if you haven't got a bolster, get 2 or 3 cushions because I'd like you to, need to try and be, quite high. So if you have a look at my bolster here, I'm going to place my feet together like I was going to do a butterfly pose. Get one bum close as I can to the bolster or the cushions, and then lay myself back down with my legs. So try and shift your bum all the way close to the bolster. Your feet are on top of the bolster, letting the knees fall out to the side. So just shimmy around, kind of like fidget your way into stillness if you like. Really find what works for you. If it feels too intense, maybe you need to take a layer of one cushion away or something like that. And just surrender into this posture. If you feel better having a cushion underneath your head, you can place a cushion under the head, shimmy the shoulder blades, and then look for that stillness. And once you find your edge and that stillness, make that resolution to remain still, and I will mind the time. Breath focus. Total breath focus. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. Continue with that little internal mantra. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. On every out breath, let go. I am safe. I am home. I am safe. I am home. Notice the internal dialogue. Keep practicing bringing that focus and awareness back to your breath. And the affirmation, I am safe, I am home. So very slowly, take your hands to the outside of your knees and help those knees together, nice and steady, and help them together. Lovely. Maybe you want to just push those cushions and bolsters away and then bring your knees in towards the chest. And just take some time just to rock from side to side. Right, little rock from side to side. And then hands on those knees and start to circle the knees in opposing directions. Right, so just little circles there with those knees into those hips. You just had those hips opening for a while. And then reverse the circles. Breathing in, breathing out. Lovely. And then bring those knees back in towards the chest. Squeeze. Gently rolling over onto your side. And press yourself up to seated. And we transition into the next posture, which is a half butterfly. All right, it's like a Janu Sirsasana in a yang practice. So you prop up your knees or prop up your right knee, all right? And if you need to, you can take a cushion or whatever it is to the side so you can rest your head. You're going to interlace your fingers into the toes, so you bring awareness to your feet. It might be a little bit, I don't know how wide your toes spread, guys, but try and get some separation there. It's a little bit like if you've ever used those toe separators. Some of you will feel like it's a bit of a Marmite pose there, but I want you to make that connection with your feet. So left hand through those right toes. And then you're going to come forward in your half butterfly. So if you have got a cushion or even another brick, so there's always lots of things you can do. You can just rest your forehead. We want to be nice and passive in the posture. So instead of hanging there and tightening our muscles up, be supported in the posture. Take yourself to your edge, of course, but then be supported. So for me, a brick is working quite well on its end, and I've lifted and lowered into my forward bend. Got my left fingers interlaced through the right toes, and I'm very passive in my body, so no contraction of your large muscle groups, in order that this can get to work on a much deeper level, the muscle fascia, the ligaments, the tendons. There's a slow release. Breathing in and breathing out. This chakra is very much concerned with having the patience to see our dreams come true. Okay, it's that stability you have to put into place, the building blocks you put into place before your dreams can come true. It's also very much about acknowledging that you have enough. Abundance in Yin is the recognition that we already have enough. To cultivate the feeling of abundance in our life, we remember that we are enough as we are. We have enough material possessions, our relationships are enough, our job is enough. We have done enough, and we're good enough, beautiful enough, we know enough, and we are precisely where we are meant to be. So just relax here. Put down the internal pressure you place on yourself. Put down the need to improve what is already beautiful. Notice if you've begun to fidget. If you have, just ask yourself why. Do you feel pain, discomfort? If you feel pain, discomfort, then of course shift and find a more comfortable posture. But if the fidgeting is down to boredom or frustration, then breathe it away and just come back to that resolution of holding the posture still, that practice. So you can take those fingers out those toes and notice that what that feels like when you remove the fingers from in between the toes. You can give your toes a little bit of a wriggle and just notice what that feels, whether that's energy coming back to those toes. Come all the way up. Okay, you can move your equipment to the other side. Maybe you feel like you just need to just lean back and do a little bit of a reverse tabletop to just counterpose or counterbalance the forward bend there. So if you do feel inclined to lift into a little reverse tabletop, you can do to open the front side of the body. Maybe you just feel just swishing the knees from side to side is enough. And then we'll work to the other side. So extending your right leg out in front of you. Again, you can use cushions or bricks underneath that knee. Find half butterfly. So just like this, you can pop the cushions there. Find that connection of left foot into that inner thigh there. Sliding your right fingertips through and into, this is a bit more difficult for me on this side. So interlacing your right fingertips into the foot there, so you can just see like that, okay? Letting the knee just rest, bringing that brick in front, and then coming forward, lengthen, and then coming down. Just holding the head, being supported in your forward bend. Just noticing the feelings and sensations in those toes. And surrender. Keep the breath nice and even. Keep herding your awareness back to your breath. We all face times in our life that challenge our resources and try our patience. And few people are taught to be internally resourceful when things go wrong. Developing our resources comes from living life and experiencing change. And a healthy root chakra is buoyant and flexible. It is adaptable and can remain grounded through change. And sliding those right fingers out of those left toes. Give your toes a little bit of a wriggle. Feel the energy in the feet there, in the toes, the ball of the foot. Slowly coming all the way up. Again, if you feel like you need to create a little bit of a reverse tabletop, you can. Just to open front side of the body. If not, then that's not a problem. So lifting up into reverse tabletop. We're slowly lower, we're going to come into a dragonfly pose. So legs go wide. It doesn't have to be all the way out. It can be just like, you know, a small separation of those feet. And you're going to bring your cushions, your bolsters, or your bricks to make a tower for you to be able to come forward and rest your forehead and your hands down into your dragonfly posture. So what you want to try and make sure you're doing is tilting the pelvis forward rather than rounding back. So even if you have to take your hands onto your hips and tilt the pelvis forward, you'll feel quite a strong stretch in your inner thighs as you do that. And then you're finding your way to your dragonfly. Now it could be rested on your forearms and just letting your chin drop down. Or like I said, you can place a brick on top of the bolster so that you're fully supported there. The head is supported. You can relax your neck, your shoulders. Try to relax the large muscle groups in your legs. Looking for that stillness. Find that edge and then make that resolution to remain still. Feel your tailbone drop. Anchor yourself down. I am anchored and connected to Earth. I am anchored and connected to Earth. If this affirmation resonates with you, you can repeat that throughout the hold to maintain your focus. If the affirmation doesn't resonate with you, focus on your breath. I am anchored and connected to Earth. Very slowly backing away from that forward fold there. Removing your equipment to the side. You can help your legs together. Maybe give them a little bit of a shake And then come back down into cradle pose. So it's like Apanasana in a yang practice. Just roll down. I want you to bring your awareness and focus to your sacrum and the tailbone. So kind of like circling a little bit. So you can take your knees, but really think about massaging your lower back as you arrive in this cradle. So you've got your hands on your knees and you're using your tummy muscles to kind of like create a circle in that lower back. So you get the tailbone down and all the way around the sacrum. Reverse the circle. You should feel really nice. It feels nice on my back, my lower back right now. Breathing in, breathing out. And again, inhale, exhale. And then come into happy baby. So if you struggle to reach for the feet, you're going to hold your ankles or behind the knees, or even use 2 straps. Reaching for the outside of the feet, getting the knees nice and wide so that as you draw down on the feet, those knees come to the sides of the ribs. And you're just going to settle in to kind of shift your way into the posture. Draw those feet down to your natural boundary where you're feeling the compression into the hips, that lower back a little bit, drawing the shoulder blades back down into the mat. And then make that resolution to remain still once you found that edge. Hold and breathe. Close your eyes and just feel the whole back body, the spine and the back, just rooting down into the ground, fully supported by the earth beneath you. Perhaps visualize little roots just burrowing from the back into the earth, drawing earth's energy, connecting you to earth's energy. And if that visualization isn't resonating with you this evening, focus on your breath and the feelings and sensations in your body without judgment, just being a witness, being the observer of what's going on mentally, physically, and emotionally right now. Remember, it's a gentle draw down. It's not a yanking. You're not yanking the feet down. So just find your edge gently rather than aggressively. And you can develop a viable and healthy root chakra when you affirm your right to a good life. You deserve a good life. And this comes when we honor who we are, beyond any limiting identifications that define us by race, age, religion, or nationality. And as we affirm ourselves, we strengthen our attachment to life and open the space for it to be fulfilled through us. Each time we define ourselves by the self-limiting ideas that dictate where we can and cannot go, whom we can or cannot participate with, and what we are allowed to do and not to do, we narrow our life choices. We define ourselves through race, religion, culture, age, gender, and sexual orientation. And we heal our root chakra by making choices for ourselves based on the promise of growth and spiritual development. You have a right to joy. So you're there for 3 minutes, quite a while for a happy baby posture. Bring the knees in, give yourself a nice cuddle there, cradle yourself. Have a little rock from side to side and just slowly slide the legs out to take a little rebound, a little Shavasana rebound just for 30 seconds when you feel ready. So as you arrive in your Shavasana, scooting the tailbone towards the top of the mat and tucking in the chin ever so slightly to elongate the full length of your spine. Let the feet flop out to the side. Release those hips and just be aware of the feelings and sensations in your body after you just held that happy baby for that 3 minutes. Just notice what's going on physically, energetically, mentally. And very slowly bend the knees, slide the feet closer to your bum. You're going to lift into bridge and place your support underneath your lower back there. So it could be a bolster, it could be a brick. Taking the brick and placing it just underneath there, your lower back there, just where the bum joins the back, if you like, and then a little bit higher. Just settling into your supported bridge pose, shimmying the shoulder blades, feet flat to floor. And just noticing the feelings and sensations in the feet, maybe pressing a little bit into those feet to connect and ground down into the earth. Feeling that upper back press into the mat as you breathe in, and then that retraction as you breathe out. Nice, even breath. Allowing yourself to be supported in this posture. Letting go over and over with every out breath. Eyes are closed. Let your tailbone be heavy on the block. And the skin around your lower back and sacrum spread. And your affirmation here is all my needs are met. All my needs are met. And even if you don't believe that as you're saying it, repeat it. Repetition is key. Imagine that you believe that. If you say it enough, you will believe it. All my needs are met. Our root chakra, in order to be functional, must be rid of narrow beliefs. We heal our root chakra each time we affirm our right to the life that we say we want. All my needs are met. So very slowly, just lifting the hips slightly and removing the brick or the bolster that's underneath there. And just committing yourself back to the safety of earth as you lower and finding your final posture, Shavasana. You're going to explore Prithvi Mudra. We explored it 3 weeks ago. So you're taking that thumb, which is representative of fire, to the ring finger, which is representative of earth, and the other 3 fingers remain outstretched. Prithvi Mudra, Earth Mudra. You're going to do that with both hands and find your way into Shavasana for this final posture. And make sure you feel comfortable, so kind of shimmy yourself around in it before you find that stillness, right before you make that resolution to remain still. And if you do have any pain in your lower back, remember to bend your knees, let your knees fall together, feet either side of the mat, and find that constructive rest pose as opposed to Shavasana. Just make sure you're comfortable. Just breathing deep. Just visualize your breath penetrating to the base of your spine. Each time you inhale, feel the air that you draw in energize your life force and anchor you into your legs and your feet. Just imagine standing on the earth and feel your feet connected to the ground. And then visualize a large red cube at the very base of your spine. Expand the form and intensify the color. In your imagination, as you stand there, feel the weight of the cube anchoring you to the earth. And feel that you are cultivating the qualities of patience, stability, structure, and security into your life. You have all the inner resources you need to make your life work, and the maturity and stamina and perseverance to see your dreams turn into reality. Is there a dream that you would like to see realized? Can you see yourself experiencing the reality of this dream? Just allow feelings of fulfillment to expand your energy field as you bring your awareness down to the base of your spine. And once again, expand the form, that cube of the root chakra, and intensify that beautiful color red. And say yes to your dreams. Feel the energy from this large red cube move down into your legs, through your feet and into the ground. Know that with patience, stability, and a sense of security, your dreams can come true. Affirm your right to life. Say yes to all the trials and tribulations that have brought you to this place of sensitivity and awareness. As difficult as your road may be, are you not graced for the inner qualities you have developed? The grit it took to achieve the things you truly wanted. Acknowledge the gifts of courage, stamina, and perseverance that you have accessed from your roots. Take a nice deep breath in and sigh away that breath. And just like you to visualize a circle of light right at the root chakra, and within that circle is a cross of light. Expand the light to include your entire body and the room in which you are in, the town, the country you live in, the whole planet itself. And just know that you're always part of a greater whole, and that who you are makes a difference. Take a deep breath as you affirm your being. Slowly bringing your awareness back into your physical body, back into the space in which you're in. And becoming aware of your surroundings, the ceiling, the floor, the walls, any sounds within your space. Becoming aware of your physical body laying on the mat, points of contact with your body on the floor. And just being witness to how you feel physically, mentally, energetically. Storing any feelings of peace and calm and quiet. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, just think about bringing some movement back into your body. Perhaps wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, moving your head from side to side. Maybe you don't feel ready to move, and that is okay. You can honor that. If you have begun to move, you might feel inclined to stretch out fully into a full body stretch. Bring the knees in, hug yourself tight, twist, do whatever your body is calling for you to do right now. Take your time, and when you feel ready, rolling over onto your side, make a pillow with your hands and just resting there in fetal position just for a few more breaths. And then very slowly and mindfully, pressing your hands into the floor, push yourself up and find Sukhasana. Easy pose, legs crossed. Sitting nice and tall, knitting in those lower ribs, feel lifted from the crown of the head, and bringing your hands to prayer at the heart center. We will seal this practice with 3 united arms. I'm going to inhale and exhale to prepare. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Inhale. Place your hands either side of the thighs, palms to the floor. Take a moment to reground, to reconnect. Inhale, scoop up all that energy that you cultivated in your practice this evening. Exhale, bring it down through the center line of the body, fingertips to the mat. And again, hands either side. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Last time, hands either side. Inhale, scoop up all that peace, that calm, that wonderful energy and love. And as you exhale, bring it all to your heart center this time. Hold your hands there in prayer, thumbs connecting to your heart space. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, lower your chin to chest, offering your head to your heart. And very gently blinking the eyes open a few times and bowing the head. Om Shanti. Namaste. Thank you, guys. Oh, I love technology. Hope you're all right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I'll see you in the week, baby. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye, Richard. Bye, Dawn. Bye, Molly and Jane.
Bye.
Bye. See you soon.